Playing with Power MTG. Powerful cards, powerful formats. Before we get into tonight's game, I wanted to ask a question. Do you have extra cards lying around that you don't use? Want to buy or trade for some extra cards but don't know how to maximize the value? Then you should try out today's sponsor, Card Conduit. Card Conduit is the best service when it comes to selling your extra cards. They have three main services. Their standard service lets you send them your unsorted cards of any value. They will sort, grade, and give you the best price for your cards. Their curated service is similar. Send them your unsorted cards worth over $1 in value. They will charge half the fee of the standard service and charge no fee per card. Their sorted service is a great value as well. Choose cards in advance with their selection tool, send them sorted to Card Conduit, and they will grade and buy list them automatically. Save yourself the time of having to send to multiple sites and let Card Conduit do it instead. Their fee is only 2% with no fee per card. So give Card Conduit a try today. If you sign up with my link in the description below or use the promo code POWER, you will also get 10% off of their fees when you use their service. A big thanks to Card Conduit for sponsoring today's video. The Mox Masters Invitational is coming this October 20th through the 22nd in Columbus, Ohio. Qualified players compete in the $10,000 CEDH tournament. There is a last chance qualifier on Friday, October 20th. Earn cash and points, and the top 4 automatically qualify for the Invitational. Didn't qualify? No problem. There is a CEDH Open tournament on Saturday, October 21st. Come and compete for $4,000 in prizes. Sunday, we will have booster drafts and on-demand CEDH pods and free play all day long. Check out the link below for more info. It is going to be a great weekend, and we hope to see you there.
Hello everybody, my name is Drake. Today I'll be playing a 4-color control deck termed 10 Rack by Ivan Espinosa. It's like what he plays, his bread and butter. He won some event at SCG with it, and I'm playing it here today.
Zach here playing Mono White Hammer Time. This deck is all about getting like a Stoneforge Mystic into play or a Sigarda's Aid to then cheat large equipment into play, or cheat the equip costs of Colossus Hammer to create big dudes, punch your opponent in the face for lots and lots of damage.
All right, any pregame actions?
Oh, fresh out.
Okay, I'm gonna play it in Dot the Triumph Tap, and it's your turn.
Draw. Pay through your life and bolt in an Emeria Shattered Skyclave. And I'm going to pay 1 white and cast an Esper Sentinel. I will pass the turn.
I'll draw Island, and I'll pass the turn back to you.
Draw for the turn. I'm going to move to combat. Attack for 1.
No blocks, I'm at 19.
Second main phase, I'm going to cast a Sigarda's Aid. I'll enter and I'll pass the turn.
I'm going to draw. Here's a forest. Here's the Leyline Binding. I'm going to do this main phase. Leyline Binding.
Esper Sentinel will trigger.
I will pay using the Island.
Okay. Leyline enters.
Trigger will target Esper Sentinel.
Esper Sentinel is exiled.
Turn's finished.
Draw. Alright, I'm going to cast a Ginger Brute. I'm going to go to combat. Attack you with my Ginger Brute.
The blocks, so at 18.
I'll pass the turn.
With your Ginger Brute?
With my Ginger Brute.
I'll draw. I'm going to shock an Owl Fountain. I will cast a Teferi Time Raveler. I'm going to uptick Teferi.
Draw for the turn. I'm going to play Plains. Cast a Stoneforge Mystic. ETB. Get this Cauldra complete? Or complete? I don't know.
Would you seriously say complete unironically? Zach, we got work to do, bud. It's complete. Yeah.
Alright, anyways. Go to combat. Teferi for 1. Pass the turn. Look, they don't give pronunciation guides with these cards, okay?
It's true, they don't. Play a Flooded Strand. I'm going to sacrifice my Flooded Strand. Yeah, we're going to shock that in. We're going to cast a Solitude. ATB trigger will target the Stoneforge Mystic.
Alright, it'll be exiled.
I'll uptick Teferi and pass to you.
Tap up, keep, draw. Gonna play a Plains. Cast a Stoneforge Mystic. I'll search up a Colossus Hammer. Cast Colossus Hammer. ETB Sigarda's Aid will trigger, and I will equip Colossus Hammer onto Ginger Brute. Move to combat. Attack. I think either or requires the same. So I'm gonna attack you. It is an 11/11 Ginger Brute.
I'm at 13. Yeah, no blocks. I'll go to 2.
Going to 2. Alright, I'll pass the turn.
I'll draw. Attack.
No blocks.
You lose 3 to 15. I go to 5. I'm going to cast Prismatic Ending, targeting Stoneforge Mystic.
Okay. Exile.
I'll down tick Teferi to 2 to return Solitude to hand. And I'll draw. I'll play a Flooded Strand as my land for turn, and I'll pass to you.
Draw for the turn. I'll go to combat. Attack you.
I'll cast a Leyline Binding. ETB will target the Ginger Brute.
That happens. Second main phase. For 1, cast a Giver of Runes. I'll cast a Pure Steel Paladin. And I will give the turn to you.
Instead, I'll fetch. Grab a Rogrin Triome. We will draw. That's a really good draw. Wow, that card is good. So we're going to uptick to Fairy, hard cast Fury.
Sure.
ETB, I'll do 2 and 2. And with that, my turn is over.
Draw. Play Plains and pass. At least Fury kills quickly.
It does. I'll uptick to Fairy, and I'll attack with Fury. Yeah, alright, I'll just pass the turn.
Draw. Play another Plains and pass.
I'll do. Attack with Fury. Uptick to Fairy, and then I will cast the One Ring. ATB trigger. I have protection from everything until the next turn. And I haven't played a land yet, so I'm going to activate this now. Put a burden counter on it and drawing a card. Nice. Draw 1 subject. I'll play 1 subject. Got it.
Draw. Alright, you got it. I'm gonna pay 3 life and put this Emeria Shattered Skyclave into play. I'm going to cast an Ornithopter. Cast a Springleaf Drum. I'm going to tap Ornithopter and Springleaf Drum for a white, cast an Esper Sentinel. And I will pass.
I'll draw. Here's a Windswept piece. My turn's over.
Tap, upkeep, draw. Tap for 1. I'm gonna cast a Sigarda's Aid. Springleaf Drum and Ornithopter for a white. Cast a Colossus Hammer. ETB Sigarda's Aid trigger. Equip onto Esper Sentinel.
I'm going to respond. I'm evoking a Solitude, exiling a Prismatic Ending as part of the cost. ETB trigger, I'll target the Esper Sentinel.
It will be exiled. I'll gain a life. Play this Emeria's Shattered Skyclave tapped and pass the turn.
Instead, we're going to fetch. Grab Nindatha Triome. I'll tap and draw. Play Misty Rainforest. I'm going to fetch with Misty Rainforest. We're going to go grab Steam Vents Untapped, which will lose me a total of 3 life. And then we're going to cast a Ren 6. I'll uptick to 4, targeting the Misty Rainforest. And with that, my turn's finished.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Cast a Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah, I'll get a Colossus Hammer in hand. And I would like to move to combat. Swing Ornithopter at, Planeswalkers are good. Yeah, I'm gonna swing at Renin 6. Before damage, tap Stoneforge and Springleaf Drum for a white. Flash in Colossus Hammer. Sigarda's Aid will trigger, it'll target Ornithopter.
You have no effects to that.
And equips. Move to damage.
Damage happens. Ren 6 is done.
Pass the turn.
Here is a Windswept Heath. My turn is over.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Tap for 1. I'm gonna cast an Esper Sentinel. Move to combat. Stoneforge and Ornithopter coming at you.
I will declare the blocks.
Okay, take 11. All right, I will pass the turn.
Instead, I'm going to fetch. I'm going to grab a Rockburn Triome. Hold on. I'm going to play a Plains, and I'm going to cast the One Ring.
Pretty good.
ETB trigger, I will get protection from everything, because there's no reason I think to wait on this. Put a burden counter on it and draw. After that, my turn is finished.
All right, I will untap, upkeep, draw something insane, cast a Giver of Runes. I will then pass the turn. I can't do damage to you, so yeah.
Upkeep, I will lose 1, and then I will draw. Activate the One Ring, draw 2 cards. Omnath, Locus of Creation. Here's the battlefield, I'll draw a card. Windswept Heath. Trigger Omnath will gain 4 life. Do I care about the mana? Do I care about the life? I guess I need to do stuff now, because otherwise Giver's online. Alright, yeah, I'll fetch now. Yeah, I'm just gonna grab a tap Stomping Ground. Trigger Omnath. I'm going to cast a Prismatic Ending using the white. So I have Teamer in my pool. That's going to target Ornithopter.
That'll happen. Ornithopter is exiled.
Use the green to play Delighted Halfling. And with that, my turn is finished.
Untap, draw Pure Steel Paladin.
Yeah, Pierce is going to be a hell of a draw. Be a good one.
We'll play Plains. I'm just going to pass the turn.
Upkeep. The One Ring will trigger. I will lose 2 life. I'm going to draw. I'm going to activate the One Ring and draw 3 cards. Going to play a Misty Rainforest, trigger Omnath, I'll gain 4. Cast Teferi, Time Raveler. Put it down to Teferi, targeting the One Ring. I'll fetch with Misty Rainforest, grab a basic island, trigger Omnath, I'll make non-black. I'm gonna leave the white floating in my pool, cast the One Ring. ATB trigger, I'll get protection from everything until my next turn. I'll activate the One Ring and put a burden counter on it and draw. Okay, using the white still floating from Omnath mana, I'm going to cast Prismatic Ending for X is 0, targeting Giver of Runes.
Teferi is such an unfun card.
It's not fun at all.
Activate, I'll target my Esper Sentinel, give it protection from white, and then this will get exiled.
My turn is over.
I don't know how I get out of this. I'll cast an Ornithopter. Yeah, I'll pass the turn.
I'll lose 1 on upkeep, and then I'll draw. Uptick Teferi, activate the One Ring, put a second burden counter on it, draw 2. Play a Misty Rainforest, trigger Omnath. I will gain 4, go to 10. Go to combat, I'll attack with Omnath, Locus of Creation.
No blocks.
Second aid, I'm going to fetch with Misty Rainforest, grab a Forest, will trigger Omnath again. I'll make non-black. Using that mana, I'm going to cast an Omnath, Locus of Creation. ETB, it'll legend roll, and I'll draw a card from the new Omnath. I'm going to cast a Delighted Halfling. Yeah, I think I'm just going to move to my cleanup step. I'll discard a Hallowed Fountain. It'll be your turn.
Cast Steel Shaper's Gift. Sure, I'll get this Cauldron. Alright, I'll pass.
On your step. Hard cast Solitude. ETB, I'll target the Stoneforge Mystic.
Okay. I will activate Stoneforge Mystic in response. I'll put Cauldron Complete onto the battlefield.
Alright, you have a Living Weapon trigger and a Sigarda's Aid trigger.
That I do. I'll stack it so that it Sigarda's Aid's the last one to resolve, so it'll make a Germ, equip to it, and then I'm going to target Esper Sentinel.
Okay, yeah, that happens.
Solitude, ETB, good. This will get exiled.
I have more effects on this step. I'm gonna channel Besagia Who Endures, targeting Esper Sentinel.
That's really disgusting. Destroy, I'll search. I'll get basic planes.
Untap, One Ring trigger, I will lose 2 and draw. I'm gonna activate the One Ring, put a burden counter on it, and draw 3 cards. We're going to play a Flooded Strand of my land for turn, trigger Omnath. I will gain 4, go to 11. I will fetch with Flooded Strand, go to 10. Temple Garden, tapped, trigger Omnath. I will generate non-black. I will use all that mana to cast the One Ring. It'll enter, I will legend out the old one. There's obviously a trigger that I will get protection from everything. I will tap this one, add a burden counter, draw a card.
No, maybe you'll deck yourself. That's an out.
Yeah, I've been basically just trying to find a Ren and 6 for this Besagia for like the last 3 or 4 turns, but whatever.
Yeah, that's what you did. That's what you did.
Yeah, I'm missing it. Combat, I'll attack with both Solitude and Omnath. Uptick Teferi. I'm ready to go to my discard step, and I'll discard this Sacred Foundry. It's your turn.
Draw. I'll play planes. I'll pass.
I'll lose 1 on my upkeep and draw. I'll use the One Ring to draw. I'll downtick Teferi, -3, targeting your Ornithopter.
Yep. Bounced.
Draw. I'll go to combat and I'll attack with Omnath, Solitude, and the 2 Delighted Halflings.
I'm dead. Does that care for sideboarding? I'm going to bring in a Pithing Needle and 3 Strict Proctors. Pithing Needle can, hit his fetch lands, hit his planeswalkers, all sorts of hit the One Ring, all sorts of good targets for it. Strict Proctor will help deal with the ETB effects that he has, so like his Leyline Binding and like his One Ring and the Omnath triggers and things like that. It's a little bit of a non-bow with stuff that I have going on, but this is the only thing that I have that really deals with what he's doing in any sort of meaningful way. I'm going to take out 2 Surge Salvations. They're not very good against Teferis. Maybe I'm crazy for cutting them. And then I'm also going to cut 2 Sigarda's Aids. A little bit for the same reason, just because like the Flash ability gets negated by Teferi. I don't know what else I'm really supposed to trim out of this deck. It's pretty lean, so this is what I'm going to go with.
For my side, I am bringing in 3 Besagia Who Endures, 2 Chalice of the Void, and 1 Eladamri's Call. Besagia is really good to pair alongside Ren and 6, can pick off a lot of the problematic creatures, as well as obviously the equipment, Sigarda's Aids, whatever. Even like Urza Sagas and stuff like that. Pretty much a catch-all removal spell that is also just doubles as a land is really, really nice. Chalice of the Void on 1 is really potent against this deck. A lot of their important cards, Colossus Hammer, Scarta's Aid, the good creatures, you know, all that kind of stuff, gets tagged by Chalice of the Void. So putting Chalice on 1, really good. And I don't have a lot of ones in my deck to be harmed by it as well. And then I'm bringing one Eladamri's Call. This is kind of a hedge. I'm actually not playing that many copies of Fury, and I think the card's really good in the matchup. So I wanted an additional way, kind of a pseudo third Fury that I can have access to in my deck, and of course can tutor random other stuff like Omnath or what have you. It shouldn't come up, but it just seemed like a fine as a third copy of Fury. And then for my cuts, I got Forge Blighted Halfling, the actual like real one drop in my deck that does get tagged by Chalice, and I'm bringing in Spacejus to like kind of function as additional mana. So cutting Delighted Halflings, which are just a mana as well, I think is something that makes sense. And then cutting 2 Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines, kind of a little bit Windmori, like tapping out on turn 5 for this, I think opens me up to dying to hammer kills and stuff like that with any kind of good hand or good draw from my opponent. It can look good in the base of Stoneforge and stuff like that, but I think in general it's mostly just a win more card in this matchup.
Play Plains, cast Esper Sentinel. That's a turn.
Misty Rainforest, and I'll pass the turn here.
Step up, keep draw. Combat. Thank you for 1. Lose 3 life to a Marius Shattered Skyclave and to play untapped. Stoneforge Mystic. It's a Cauldron complete. Go ahead.
Instead, from the fetch. Good fetch and Dotha Trial. And I will draw. Play a Misty Rainforest. I'm going to fetch this Misty Rainforest and Shock, so that's going to be a total of 3 damage. I'm going to evoke a Solitude, exiling Prismatic Ending, and then ETB, I'm going to target the Stoneforge Mystic, and then I'm going to cast a Ren 6, which will trigger the Esper Sentinel. We'll down tick Ren targeting Esper Sentinel.
Cast Northopter. Play Nerza Saga. Get a counter. Springleaf Drum. Stoneforge Mystic. Colossus Hammer. Cast Steel Shaper's Gift. I'll get another hammer. I'll pass.
Uptick Ren, target Misty Rainforest. Play a Misty Rainforest. Cast up Leyline Binding. It'll enter, I'll target the Stoneforge Mystic. And then I'm going to fetch with Misty Rainforest, Basic Forest. And we will channel Besieger Who Endures, targeting the Urza Saga.
The basic planes. Draw. Play Nerza Saga. I'll trigger Sigarda's Aid. Colossus Hammer. Number 1.
Results.
ETB. Trigger. Number 2.
Yep.
ETB. Trigger Equip. Combat. Attack you for 20.
I am dead.
Hooray.
Add the Solitude, no second white card. And Dotha Triumph, and my turn's over.
Draw. I'll play Plains and pass.
Here's our Rogrin Triumph. It's your turn.
Draw. Playing Urza Saga. Cast a Stoneforge Mystic. Get a Colossus Hammer. S.
Instead, here's a Leyline Binding. Targeting the Stoneforge Mystic. Hold on. I'm going to play a Windswept Heath. I'm going to use it to fetch for a basic forest. And then I'm going to cast it to Fairy Time Raveler. I'll down tick on Urza's Saga.
Draw. Urza Saga. Gets a counter. Runes. Pass the turn.
Draw. I'm going to uptick to Fairy. Cast a Renin 6. Uptick. Grab this Windswept Heath. I will play the Windswept Heath as my land per turn. I'll just pass the turn there.
In phase, trigger Urza Saga. Play an Inkmoth Nexus. My land for turn. I'm gonna move to combat. Attack the fairy for 1.
Yeah, after attacks before blocks, I'll cast Prismatic Ending. X is 0, targeting the Giver Brings.
Go ahead.
In step still, I will fetch with Windswept Heath. There's a secret boundary. And I'm gonna uptick Ren, targeting the Windswept Heath. Uptick to Fairy, cast Omnath. Locus of Creation, ETB trigger, I will draw a card, and I will play the Windswept Heath, trigger Omnath, gain 4. I'm going to pass the turn after that.
Activate. Draw. Trigger. I'll flood a colorless and sacrifice. Fetch up a Shadow Sphere onto the battlefield. Play a Plains. With my colorless, I'm going to cast a Colossus Hammer. Another Colossus Hammer. Pure Steel Paladin.
Pure Steel Paladin results.
Alright, I'd like to equip Colossus Hammer onto Construct.
I will respond. I'm going to fetch. I'm going to shock an Isle Fountain. That'll trigger Omnath, so I'll go to 19 for the shock, plus 4 to 23. Cast a Leyline Binding. ETB trigger, I'll have it target the Pure Steel Paladin. The equip can resolve.
Move to combat. Come at your face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 14.
Alright, I'll go to 9.
Final turn.
Down tick to fairy, targeting the construct token. Play a flooded strand as my land for turn. Trigger Omnath, will gain 4, go to 13. I'm gonna uptick Rend to 6, pick up the Windswept Heath. We're going to cast a Teferi Time Raveler. 4, I'll uptick that to 5. My turn's over after that.
Draw. Play Nerza Saga. Look at a counter. Cast a Pure Steel Paladin. Activate Inkmoth Nexus.
I'll respond. I'll cast Prismatic Ending using white-green, targeting the Pure Steel Paladin.
Sure, I'll attack Ren 6 for 1. Then I will pass the turn.
I'll draw. Down tick to Fairy to 2, targeting Urza's Saga. I'm gonna play Windswept Heath, trigger on Math, I'll gain 4. Combat, I'll attack for 4. I'm gonna fetch with the Flooded Strand, I guess. Grab an island and trigger Omnath. I'll make Sands black. Cast Omnath, Locus of Creation. ATB. This will end up legend rolled, and I'll draw a card. My turn is over.
Draw. Play Nerza Saga. Pure Steel Paladin, number 3. Activate Inkmoth.
I'll respond. Cast Solitude. Okay, I'll attack. Yeah, up on Teferi, Flooded Strand, trigger Omnath, gain 4. Attack with Omnath. I'll fetch the Windswept Heath, grab a tapped Stomping Ground, make Sands black. Don't think I'm going to use any of it. I'm just going to pick up my Windswept Heath with my Ren 6, and it is your turn.
Draw. Trigger. Play Plains. Pass the turn.
I will draw. I'll ultimate Ren 6, play a Ren 6. Going to retrace Prismatic Ending, targeting Colossus Hammer, discarding a Windswept Heath. Do so on the other Colossus Hammer, discarding Flooded Strand. Uptick this Ren, picking up a Flooded Strand, and do so again, targeting Shadow Spear, discarding the Flooded Strand. I'm going to uptick to Fairy, and I will attack with Omnath. Yeah, it's your turn.
I'm going to try and make a construct. Draw. Trigger. I'll make another construct and then sacrifice it. I'll get a Gingerbread. Play a Plains for turn. Activate Inkmoth. Construct, Inkmoth, and Gingerbread all at Teferi. And I'm just gonna give Gingerbread. Can't be blocked by except haste creatures.
Discard Plains to retrace Prismatic Ending, targeting Construct token that is attacking. And then no blocks because I cannot. Teferi will take 2.
Pass the turn.
Uptick Ren, targeting Flooded Strand. Uptick Teferi. I will retrace Prismatic Ending, targeting the Construct token. Attack for 7. Okay, second main. Cast Ren 6. Legend rule out this one. Uptick this one. I'll return Flooded. I guess Windswept Heath. Windswept Heath. I'll play Windswept Heath. Trigger Omnath, gain 4. I'll fetch with Windswept Heath. Tap for new pool. Trigger Omnath. I'll make Sands black. And I'll fetch again and grab a Steam Vents. Now trigger Omnath's third ability, which deals 4 to you, and each plays off you control.
Cool, I'm dead.